Yo, what's good, my people? We back for another interview, another conversation. This time I'm talking with my guy James. He goes by Optimist Grind on Twitter. So you can go ahead and give him a follow there. If you already do give him a follow, you probably know where this conversation is headed. For the past 3, 4 years or so, I have been increasingly tethered to the Kanye West, aka Ye fan base. Strikes me as one of the last real ones left. And as you can see, he is enemy number one of the state today, which naturally draws me in. Regardless, I see Ye as a sort of lightning rod for a lot of issues. He kind of stands in the gap as this sort of proto political figure where you can throw whatever labels you want on him and he'll just take it, whether that's anti-Semitic or racist or ignorant or conscious or genius, right? There's this quote by Walt Whitman that says, I am large, I contain multitudes. And I think that speaks to the inner tension that we as humans feel. It's easy to be a robot, but I'm more attracted to the people that show me that they bleed, that they show me that they're real. And that means that they make mistakes. But at the end of the day, they're trying to do something bigger than themselves. Anyway, without further ado, here's my friend, James, aka Optimist Grind.
My name's James, Optimist Grind. I'm living in Pasadena, California right now. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've been out in California about 10 years right now. Just getting my day going, getting through some emails, doing all the busy work right now. Had a chance to get on an interview with you, and I'm happy to be here. Definitely proud and respect what you're doing on your platform, and I support that big time.
Man, I appreciate you. What time is it there right now?
It is 10:21 a.m.
That's crazy.
What
Wow.
time is it for
That's
you?
so that's the reason I usually ask that is because it's a little bit odd doing these internet ones because you always it's so crazy how technology is amazing. Hey, putting the Yeezys on. Probably a good segue as we push forward in this conversation. But it's just cool to see where people are at in the world because literally right now over here it's about to be 7 p.m. and you're over here getting your day started. So it's just crazy how we can still connect and talk about some cool
Yeah,
stuff. So
that's cool.
anyway, as you were talking and as I was talking, you was putting on the yellow Yeezys, and I wanted to ask you really quickly about what your thoughts are about this Yay 24 movement. I feel like you're one of the people that are vocal about it, and it strikes me as something that maybe is to some people not realistic. Like how do you rationalize put forth this vision? What is your conception of Yay 24?
I mean, first and foremost, God is number one in my life. You know what I mean? And the church is number one in my life. And you don't have to necessarily be religious or spiritual to understand that Yay 24 is an idea. And more so, whether he becomes a president this time around or not is really unimportant to me. As much as I'm putting it out there, and much as I want that to happen, I think the idea and this platform and bringing everybody together, giving a place where everybody is welcome and just breaking down the boundaries of red and blue. I mean, it's like Bloods and Crips out there, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? We need to start. And I believe in America first, and not because I don't think we should, as America, as leaders of the world, not take care of other people and places of the world. I just think we have a lot of problems here at home that need to be addressed and that need to be fixed. I mean, look, I'm from Detroit, and that things have wreaked havoc on my city, and it pains me every day. And when I go through the streets in LA, it pains me every day to see these people in the streets. I go to church at one in LA, and I got to drive through a war zone just to get there, and it's heartbreaking every single morning. But thank God I'm on my way to church, right? But it's just I
Holy
think we
Spirit keeping you safe.
yeah
That's
yeah
crazy though. I saw something on the internet the other day where it's like the city of Flint hasn't had clean water since 2014. Like it's crazy out here.
unbelievable, right? Clean water in America. That's unbelievable to me. And it's like, why are we not talking about this stuff? You know what I mean? And I know I know for a fact that Ye will be the person to do that, to be the voice of the voiceless, and to hear everybody, and everybody's problems, and let's just try to come together on real solutions, innovation, instead of, I feel like it's a lot of just pointing fingers right now, and I don't know where that really
Why do you
gets
feel
us.
so strongly about that? Because I have my reasons and I'll share them too. But why do you feel so strongly that Ye is the person to do that? Like, why do you feel like he
I
has
mean,
that?
gosh, I mean, we all know what happened when he put on that "Make America Great" hat again on. You know what I mean? And that should have been a red flag to everybody when they told him that he couldn't vote for somebody because, or if he ain't black, if he doesn't vote for this person. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That right there should have been a wake up call to everybody in this country that something's not right when they're trying to tell you that if you don't vote for this person, you're not a real black person, or like, it's like, what are we talking about here anymore? You know what I mean? That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah,
Like, you should be able to have a free mind. Think for yourself. I'm not telling you who to vote for, who not to vote for. I'm just telling you, think for yourself. You know what I mean? What do you like as an American? You want to be heard. You know what I mean? I want to know what you're actually feeling, not because you watched a television show, or this news person told you to be this way. I just feel like we're all programmed, and I want to break down that matrix. And I think, if Ye's
that's
not the
truth.
person to do
That's
it,
truth.
who is? Yeah.
I feel like that's truth. Like you're spitting a lot of truth. And I wanted to really quickly because it's very, very interesting to me that people from within, and I don't know how you came into contact with Ye. Was it through his art? Was it through his activism? Was it sort of like
I mean,
how do
definitely is.
you
Sorry to cut you off. Definitely the music. I mean, the music is number one for me for sure. I grew up. I remember I was about 10 years old when Tupac died, and I cried, at the age of 10, because of his loss, and that's how much his music had meant to me. Jay Z's music, so many different artists. You know what I mean? Like, all these people, because I grew up in a rough situation with a single mom, and music really helped carry and mold and teach, and made me grow as a person. And Kanye, yay, his whole music discography is just like, I mean, it's like my life. You know what I mean? My emotional intelligence development, and because I even went through. There was even points when I went from loving Kanye, loving Ye, to thinking I didn't like Ye anymore. You know what I mean? To falling back in love and really understanding his message again. And I mean, that's real growth, right? If we can go from loving somebody to thinking we hate somebody to loving them again, to realizing that we should be just focused on loving ourselves, which is the most important thing that I think a lot of people don't understand
yeah.
and what he's trying to
There's that
convey.
famous Ye quote, right? He said people who are fans of me are actually fans of themselves, right? Like
One of
that's
my favorite
I feel like
quotes.
one of the things that people get lost in this whole Ye 24 discussion is the fact that it is in a sense about Ye, but it's not about Ye. Like it's about this because the way I ascribe is I wouldn't consider myself conservative, but I wouldn't consider myself liberal.
Mm-hmm.
I am I if I was like gun to the head, I'd probably say something like agorist or like one of them weirdos that like tries
Anarchist.
to live on homestead or something. Yeah, like I don't know, but like like a super libertarian. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I feel like what Ye represents is not any of those. He represents like a politics. Like there's this need for something to break this weird binary thought pattern that we're in. And the only way is you need like a force of gravity in the middle that actually can start to reverse the polarization. And it's not necessarily like this is like getting more into the political theory side of it, but like that's the truth. Like if he gets like it's not even just him, it's all the folks that are in the middle. If there's some sort of coalition of force or gravity that can reset what people are actually listening to, then there's a potential for change. And so I feel like that's where I sense that Ye is one of those dudes that is just the lightning rod, and
Yep.
he's the lightning rod for God. And so
Yep.
I feel like that's the way that I would be rolling. But it's like it's very difficult when you start thinking about the P's and Q's of the politics, because then you get into the like, oh, like who's gonna be in this cabinet, who's gonna be the VP, like all that
Right.
other stuff.
Right.
how do you feel like what's your level of investment in it? Like, would you be ready to like campaign? Like, how are you feeling about this next
I,
election?
I know you follow me a little bit on Twitter, but I have been all in on this since day one. Since the day this became something that looks like it's going to be a reality and that he's going to run, I've invested endless hours of my time in free work, making videos and graphic designs. I work a little bit with students for Yay. I help out with their stuff. I do as much as I can in my free time to do this. I'm also on a personal side. Me and my buddy Ski Mask Jordan, a hip hop artist, we're doing a Sunday session this weekend. I'm at so things like Sunday service, right? So we're gonna try and create that same kind of concept where we're bringing the community together. We're handing out flyers last night at 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? So we're doing our part, and I don't know if Ye's watching and if Ye hears me, but I have a good feeling that he is. I am on his radar. I went to a couple of the Yeezy castings. Can't talk about that. I signed an NDA about what happened there. But I'm doing everything I can to be a part of this. He feels like a brother to me, to be completely honest with you. I've never shaken his hand in real life, but as far as I'm concerned, that's family to me. And I see what he's doing and I believe in what he's doing. But at the same time, I'm gonna keep my focus on making my stuff happen and doing what I can because I know that's what he wants me to do. Yeah, and I devote a lot of time
That's
to.
the you feel you on that, but this is where I think I probably divide a little bit from you on this part because
Uh-huh.
I fully believe in supporting Ye because I feel like he's the person that can potentially like he got so bad that even Obama had to say pipe down. He was like, yeah, man, that asshole. Like whatever he
Right,
said, like I
right,
forget
right.
what it was.
The
But
jackass,
it's
you call
crazy. Like
him.
there's a potential there. So I feel like it's almost like that, like what is it? In all of the lights where we're going all the way this time, it's like just send it up. And so I feel like at this point, that's why I'm supporting him for it. But it's like almost like the Elon Musk thing where it's like yeah, he's doing this thing and he's a billionaire, but how happy are they really, bro? Like they like right now they're on a kamikaze suicide mission that
Yeah,
nobody really appreciates. Like
yeah.
that isn't really like something that you usually cheer somebody on to. You usually
I
say,
mean,
"Hey,
look,
come back to
I had a lady
like."
scoff at my shoes in the mall the other day because I was wearing Yeezys. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at right now. But I'm not gonna turn my back on it. I'm just gonna power through it. I can't
Yo,
imagine. I can imagine life is really hard for him right now, even though he's a billionaire, whatever. That's all irrelevant. He's a human being, and everybody's turning their back on him at this point. Not everybody, but a good percentage
yeah,
of the population.
I feel like it's inevitable though. Like that's what he signed up for. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
yeah, that's what he's trying to
he's
do.
like it's one thing to be sorry for somebody because it's like unfortunate, like nothing happened, but it's another thing like we endorse this from Ye because we know that the implication if he succeeds, what those are. But the chances of success, if we're being honest with ourselves,
Right
isn't
now,
that high
right now is
right
very
now.
low, but America loves a comeback. And let me tell you
They
something.
do.
And he's got the platform and he's got the brains to be able to do it. So I really think that could
I think
literally,
he needs the advisors, bro, and he doesn't need
yes,
fucking
he
like
needs me. He
pedos
needs
or he
you.
doesn't need weirdos. He needs actual folks who like honestly, I don't know if it's something that I think he doesn't even need people. I think he just is just him and God, but it's
Yeah.
just the fact that the outside world is very like you need translators essentially. Like
I'll say one
it's not like he needs people to advise him. It's that he needs to essentially have mouthpieces that are able to effectively communicate what he's saying in a way that makes sense on like different levels, whether it's a policy
sure.
level, whether it's a scientific level, where like you need those people that are bought into the mission but still have an ear to the verbiage of whatever
Sure, of course.
circles are
And I
important.
believe not only do I believe he's capable of doing that, but I believe there's a lot of people around him supporting him that you will be surprised are actually supporting him and still his friend that we don't really know about. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he's smart, and I know that every move he makes for a reason. I know that, and I know he's not alone. I know he's not doing this alone. I mean, he's got people. We might not know them as big names, but he does have friends, and he does have supporters, and he does have the brilliant minds around him. Look at that Nick Fuentes guy. I don't know a lot about him, but he's a smart cookie. I'll tell you that. He says some pretty provocative things, which
Sure,
are
I
like,
need to do more
okay,
research on the political stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know much about him
not really
except
my
for the
cup of
fact
tea.
that
Politics is not my cup of tea either, bro. Like I agree with you. I mean, but I'm
what did he do? What did he do? Why is everyone riled up at his name? Like I genuinely I think he said something. Was it
you
like
know,
Hitler related or what was that?
he says a lot of like off the cuff
Very
type
inflammatory
things.
stuff. Okay, so he
Yeah,
intentionally
but like
leans into it. Fair
he
enough, fair
doesn't
enough.
mean the context is not he's not really a hateful
Hmm.
person. He's
Is it
really
like an Alex Jones type situation or is it just like a troll situation?
I think he's trolling a lot of the time. Because he'll talk about really smart stuff and then he'll just say some stuff. It's
Hey,
like,
toy
what?
your way to the
What are
top,
you talking
man. What do
about,
they
bro?
call it? Grifting?
Yeah,
Yeah. But at
Griffin.
the same time, like, like, hey, I feel like the grift has some service to society. I just it's hard for me to partake in it. I wish I
Yeah,
had
you
more
and me
gumption.
both, bro. I like to be behind the scenes a little bit, but I'm
It's
stepping
nice
up.
because essentially what you're doing is you're just closing the gap of perception and reality by making people have to pay for the lapse in their thinking. Like it just it's like a it serves the same almost social value as like a good meme that like clicks something in your head like, oh, that's why this works like that. It's like something that like a good grift essentially is just like a gotcha, but now you're not gonna get got again, hopefully.
Right.
But I don't know. Some people get caught in, like the whirlwind of some, and that's when you get
Yeah,
into like that
that's
cultish
not
type
my game
stuff.
and that's not my lane for sure. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to
But that's
focus
what
on
I'm saying with even with Ye, it's important to have that distance. That's why it is all about God up top, because it's like that can get really. And I remember one of your tweets. You said my favorite album is Jesus is King. My second favorite is Jesus. So I was like, delete it because look, I love like honestly, I change my mind every other day. So, but at
Yeah,
some point, it's
I've
like,
been saying Yeezus is my favorite for a while now, and then it just hit me. I was
yeah,
like, that's wrong. That's
it's
wrong because
interesting.
I I love I might love the music in Yeezus more, but the fact that he made Jesus his king and the fact that at the very beginning of all
Crazy,
this, they wouldn't play his songs because he
crazy.
was talking about Jesus. And then he made that album. And then he went to Coachella in front of 100,000 people and did gospel music on Easter Sunday morning. That was on my birthday, by the way.
Oh,
And then made that album. That's absolutely my favorite album of all time of his.
yeah,
And I don't even
man.
like saying stuff is my favorite. You know what I
But
mean?
look, it's a moment that people don't recognize yet. They don't
Yeah.
understand the historical significance of a cultural figure with the clout of a Kanye West,
Mhm.
not just publicly saying something Christian as he gets an award, but making an entire body of work proclaiming that Jesus is king. Like, yo, that's a flex. And then to have on the back of that still the ego to be like, I am that, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
that's that that's that Gemini, whatever they want to call
Well,
it. Like it's that. I feel like you could have your pick.
I like the whole like I know he got a lot of flack for this, and this is also a problem with the Christian religion is that we're judging people when he comes out with Jesus. Everybody's blasphemy. This that yeah. It's like whoa. Last time I checked, that wasn't our place to judge. You know what I mean? What he is
But
doing
we do
is
have to
bringing
check
Jesus.
people.
Yeah. What he
We
is
do
doing
have
is
to
bringing
check.
Jesus to the forefront. And look how he's done that
Okay.
over the years. He's always talked
I'm
about him.
interested. What are your thoughts on what do you think Jesus is in terms of like his psyche? What does that represent for to
Well,
you?
I think that was I think it was right after he made the greatest album maybe of all time, which is my Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? And I think it was a rebellion. He was rebelling back against the music industry. Everybody hated that album. And like I
Yeah,
even didn't understand it at first, but it grew on me over
you got it.
time. Just
Same,
that
same,
raw, yeah. I was like, I mean, this is like I've
same.
never heard anything like this before. That's
Yeah,
why I love
man.
it.
Remember
Yeah,
those music videos that came out? Those like weird, like
yeah.
like blood
Almost,
on the
almost
leaves,
you're
like
kind
the
of questioning it.
Lamborghini.
It's like a little satanic almost it felt like, but you know what I mean?
That's
But
why. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's why there was a blowback. So you have to
yeah,
understand the blowback was not just inevitable, but in a way necessary because
mhm,
you can't have that being wholly accepted. And I think that the blowback almost led to that, maybe not that arc in him. Like I feel like Ye is not as impacted by us as we are by him in some ways, but it's like he has there's still a dialogue happening.
yeah,
Like and with any person, like he's still engaging in some level. So I feel like that blowback helped him recognize that maybe there is some value here because there if you're trying to weave a neat narrative, which there never really is and usually is just fabricated, but if you think of twisted fantasy as like this beatific piece of just historic art, like you are pulling every single thing into this grand thing called hip hop, not just like
uh-huh.
break beats, but literally classical music and ballet dancers. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy out here. And so
He
to
made
do
a
that
full like
and
a whole movie on it.
boom, and like to do all that and then to still feel like there's still not the I don't know the and remember that wasn't just a solo thing. Like we was talking about Watch the Throne. We was talking about like this was a summer that was like I remember that summer where anyway, before I even get off topic, it's the
Yeah,
fact that he had that narrative going where we're going up, everything's going up. And then it's like I've literally made the best piece of art ever made by a human being,
yeah,
and everyone's just going about their day.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like imagine dropping like millions of dollars, literally orchestrating this thing out of your mind and making it come to wax, come to fruition into the world, and everyone just like, and yeah, people say, yeah, great, it's good. But at the end of the day, I feel like Yeezus is like that record, like it's almost like yelling at everybody, like,
yeah. Slap
hey,
back, yeah, clapping back.
but at the same time, it also is like indulgent because it takes you back to that maybe ego self
Yeah,
in a way. And I think that's why I like listen to it when I'm at the gym, right? Like it's sometimes you just need that, but at the same time, like I don't know, like it's interesting seeing where he's gone, and the reason that I support him is because he's honest about where he's gone, and that's
exactly.
very
Yeah,
rare. And so when I see somebody who's that honest, like I can see the faults, but as long as you're showing them to me, like
right.
I'm with you, like because I got them too, like like let's not front, right? Like let's stop
We all
fronting. So
we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We're all sinners. You know what I mean? We
yeah.
cannot be perfect. You know what I mean? We can strive to walk that Christ-like path, but at the end of the day, we make mistakes. You know, and it's just important that we keep our eye on. You know, make. I heard something good in church the other day. This last Sunday, it was that God is always in the room. Integrity is when you walk into a room and God's always in there with you. You know what I mean? That's how I'm
Mm,
trying to live my life right now.
mm,
So it's just yeah, just like as if God's just there watching you. So you can't do anything behind somebody's back. Like God's always in the room watching you. And I'm not perfect, and I might make a mistake, but just that really helps me. And I, you know, I made a lot of mistakes growing up, and I feel like I'm a pretty dang good human being right now. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow I can't mess up. You know what I mean? So
mm. You're better than me, man. I mess up literally, but before I even get out of bed in the morning, bro.
yeah,
I'm a sinner to the core, bro.
yeah,
But no, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm one that relies on grace fully
yep,
and wholly. I can't do anything on my own strength because I'm a broken human being. I don't just make mistakes. I sin
yep,
intentionally and I plan to sin. And it's one of those things where I think Paul said it. I know the things I should do and I don't do them.
yeah,
And I find myself in that a lot. And so if I'm being honest, I need Christ way more than he needs me. Like I'm one of those dudes that I have the intellect to do whatever I want to do, and I usually end up doing exactly what I want to do.
yeah,
The problem is I need to do what I need to do.
yeah,
And getting to that level requires you to get through the intellect into something that's a lot deeper, right? Like the heart of something.
yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to push you right now. But at the end of the
Well
day, it is
said.
all about where I'm ready to when I have to submit, right? I have to lay down, okay,
Yeah,
God, you lead. And I'm working on that. So I feel like it's a growing process for me for sure.
me too.
And I'm just one of those dudes that likes to be a cheerleader for people that I see doing it because I know how hard it is because
You
I've
and
been
me
through it
both.
too.
Yeah.
Like there's life out here, and we just all trying to just get through it. And it's
Yeah.
like, let's just cheer each other on
Exactly.
and be better human beings, bro. Like being a better human being doesn't mean being like a goody two shoe. Being a better human being just means being genuine, being real,
Yeah.
and that's
Be
it.
real. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I want to raise people up. I want to like people like you. I'm so happy we're having this conversation right now. This is what it's all about to me. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
working with Ye, all that stuff is great. But look, I'm working with you right now.
Mhm.
Like I'm
Tell me
happy. I'm
more
playing.
about that before we sign off because I gotta run in a second.
Sure,
I
sure.
gotta head to my dojo for my yellow belt class. But um but what is that like? What are you working with? You said you work with the youth. Is it like at what YCA or what are you doing?
Well, Students for Yay is an organization that's really not completely formed yet, and since there hasn't been a really official announcement, but it's just a group of students who has gotten and collected a bunch of emails from people that still support Yay, and there's a really bright, intelligent group of kids, designers, artists, and if and when the time comes, they're going to be ready to step up and do their thing. You know what I mean? So that's great. I've been out of college for a minute now. But I think the youth is so important, obviously. So to be a part of something like that is incredible. I'm just happy that I could help out where I can when I can. I'm honored to
So
do that.
Students
And
for
I
Yay is what it's called.
Students for Yay, yeah, they're great.
Awesome, awesome. So they
Yeah,
can
it's a
find
great
that.
group of kids.
Y'all Google that, Students VA. And then if you want to find you on the internet, what is your handle one more time for the people?
At Optimist Grind.
Optimist Grind. I always felt like that was a pretty dope one. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
You
Like
like
it
that?
has a good
Yeah,
nice
it's
ring
a
to
play
it.
on. That's obviously a play on Optimus Prime, but Optimist
Yeah,
Grind.
man. Hey, I seen you grinding, but make sure you also you know don't overwork it. Let God do some of
Yeah,
that.
that's
Do
my
some of
hardest
that, you
thing.
know what I'm saying?
Believe me.
His yoke is supposed to be easy, and that doesn't mean that the work is easy, but it means that we're not supposed to feel like overwork. So take that
Yeah,
rest, my boy.
thank
Appreciate
you.
you having this conversation with me.
I appreciate
It's
you.
been a blessing. Stay up, stay well, and we'll hopefully talk again in the future, man.
Yeah, bro, I love this. Yeah, definitely keep in touch. I'll see you soon.